All right, now, so let's go ahead and move to the next part. So in the last video, we went ahead and we allowed the user to simply write new comments. So in this one, I'm gonna allow the user to follow the show, for example. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna simply allow the user to click a link right here, or to click this button, and then we will insert something in the database. We will insert, for example, the user ID and the show ID, so we will know that this guy actually followed this show. And after we insert this, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna validate if this guy followed this show or not. All right, it will all be cleared out once we actually do it. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So as always, I'm gonna go first to the link. So let me copy this part. Let me go right there and paste. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go following like that, and this will be show slash I'm gonna go follow like this. I'm gonna pass in the ID. All right, so I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go follow. All right, so right here I'm gonna go enemy dot follow like this and save this. Let's now copy this function. Let's go to enemy controller, and I'm gonna go right there and paste like that. All right, so this is going to be an inserting function. So I'm just gonna copy this and paste. Let's go ahead and cut this and paste like that. All right, so save. So before we even go ahead and write this function, I want to go ahead and create my model, which is going to be the following model, because since we're going to insert something, we're going to insert it in the database, and we need some kind of table to handle this. So in order to create a table, we have to create a model that's associated with it. All right, so I'm going to go right there, PHP artisan make model following slash and following right here. All right, so simply press enter. So there we go. We go now to models. We go to following right here. So there it is, following.php. Well, let me go ahead right here to the comment. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna copy those. I'm gonna go to following. All right, just go ahead and paste it like that. So this will be followings like this for the table, and we're gonna insert the show ID and the user ID right there. All right, and that's actually going to be everything. All right, so just save this. I'm gonna go ahead now and let's go ahead, copy the table name. I'm gonna go right there. I'm gonna go no. All right, so there we go. Let's paste this in. So there it is, ID. This will be auto increment, will be a primary key, and this will be 10. All right, so right after this, we will have the show ID right there, and this will be integer, then like that, and this will be user ID, integer, 10, created at, and let's go right there, timestamp, and this will be current timestamp. So I need another column right there, and this will be updated at. This will be timestamp, and this will be current timestamp. So there we go. Let's now click save. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead right now and work with the controller, or with the function. So we're gonna send the request once again, and we're gonna send in the ID. All right, and right here the insert comments, instead of this, I'm gonna go follow like that. So this will be inserted in the following model. So let me copy this actually, and let me go right to the top. Let me use let me go right there and just paste. I'm gonna copy this and paste. Now we can import our own model easily. All right, so let me go down at the bottom. So right here, the show ID will actually be grabbed from the ID that we're sending in, and again, we have to send in the ID since we're actually sending it right here at the link. All right, So yeah, let's go right here, and we will insert also the user ID, and that's actually it. So right here, I'm gonna grab this from the authentication class, which represents the session, and I'm gonna delete those and simply save. All right, so after we do the following, we will just go right here and go if follow. We're gonna return redirect. We're gonna go to the same page with the follow message right here. So I'm gonna go something like, you followed this show successfully, you followed this show successfully, something like this. All right, so save. Now what we need to do is we need to go right here, and we need to go at the part of the follow. Let me go Control F, and let me go follow like that. All right, so there it is, the link. All right, so I want this to be a button. I don't want it to be a link, and I need some kind of form right here to process this. So I'm just gonna go form like that. I'm gonna go method right here, post, and I'm gonna go action route right here. I'm gonna simply go enemy.follow like that, and I'm gonna pass in my show ID. All right, so this is it right here. I'm gonna go right here also CSRF like that. All right, and right here I have this should be a button. All right, we do not need an href. I'm going to keep this so it will be a type of submit. All right, so what else? Yeah, this should also be a button. All right, so there it is, a button right there. All right, so now let's save this. All right, so there we go. So there is a problem right here with there is a problem with the design and all of that, but let's not focus on this for now. We're gonna fix this later. So yeah, I would say that this should actually be everything. So yeah, the show ID is being grabbed from the ID, and the user ID is being grabbed from the ID right there. All right, you will know that why basically I'm choosing both of those, because we're gonna validate with those later. All right, we need after we follow the show, we need to let this guy know if he followed this show or not. All right, so this is why I'm choosing both of those. So yeah, I would say that this is everything. Let's now try this out. If I go ahead right here and refresh this, and if I simply click follow, all right, did I do the message part? No, I did not do it. So I'm just gonna go right here, copy this. Where do we need to display this message? Do we like display it right here? All right, so let's go at this part. So this will be a follow. Save. Let's now go ahead and click on follow right here. All right, so we're going back, and as you can see, we followed the show successfully. Let's go now to the table, click browse. All right, so there we go right there. We got the show ID, which is 2, as you can see. It's actually 2 right there, and the user ID, which is simply 1. And yeah, this is the user ID right there. All right, so cool. There's just a problem with the design right here, but you know, not a big deal for now. So basically we followed the show now. So do we have time? Yeah, I think we have time. So after we follow the show, we're going to the same page, and it's all fine. I want to go ahead and I want to validate if this guy followed the show or not. So we have to do some kind of query in order to detect if this guy followed the show or not. And there it is, the query. So I want to go back right there, and I want to go to my enemy details right here. I'm just gonna go right here and go validating following shows. All right, so I'm just gonna go right there. I'm gonna go validate. Validate following, something like this, and I'm gonna grab the data, of course, from the following model. So I need to check if the user ID of this guy who is going to this page matches a user ID in this table or not, and I need to also validate if this show ID right here is in this table or not. So if we have both of them in one row, that means that this guy followed the show, all right, which we have right here. So if this guy followed the show, I'm just gonna display a disabled button right here or something telling him that you followed this show, all right, so you can't follow him again. And if we do not have either the user ID or the show ID in one of those rows, then this means that this guy this guy did not follow the show, all right, because we do not have a record right here. So I will just display in this case, or in which case I will display the following button right here, as you can see. All right, so this is what we're doing. So I'm gonna go right there. I'm gonna go where the user ID right there equals the auth user ID right there. And if we have where simply the show underscore ID, and we simply have the ID right here that's actually coming from the parameter. So we're gonna go ahead and do the count function. So the count function will return a number based on this query. So if we have the user ID and the show ID in one row in our table, the count right here should actually return 1. But if we do not have it, we do not have the user ID and the show ID, it will actually return 0. So based on this, we can simply make a decision. So save this now. Let's copy this and let's send it in. The compact, let's save. Let's go to enemy details. All right, so I will actually go let me see. Yeah, I need to go down, yeah, at this part. So yeah, I'm gonna go right there. I'm gonna go F. Actually not like this. F like that, yeah. If the validate following right here is greater than the 0. All right, so if this is greater, if this is returning 1, basically if the count right here is returning 1, so that means that this guy followed the show. So we're gonna display a button like, we're gonna copy this button right here, and we're not gonna go type submit, we're gonna go disabled like that, and we're gonna go right here and we're gonna go you followed the show, something like this. All right, so this is it. And else, if the count is basically 0, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna display the form which contains our normal button. All right, and right after this, we're just gonna go and if like that. All right, so let's go ahead right there and simply save. All right, so this will be refreshed. All right, so as you can see right there, we got it. You follow this show right over here, so we cannot follow this show anymore. If we actually go to another show, and of course we cannot follow because we already got the record right here. If we go to a different show right there, you can see that we still have our button right here, our follow button. So we can simply, if we click follow right here, as you can see, you follow this show. As you can see, you follow this show. All right, over here, we click browse. So as you can see, we're gonna have the record right over here. which is awesome. Great, there it is. The show ID is 1 and the user ID is simply 1. So since we got those right here, this disabled button that the user cannot click anymore will be displayed right over here. So yeah, the validation is working, the following is working, which is great. And yeah, this is it, and I will see you on the next video.